me a good opportunity to thank all the people, all the Americans that have sacrificed sometimes their lives or their health to help Afghanistan. And that I want to assure you that their sacrifice has not been in vain. And the reason I'm saying, because unlike what you might read in the press or you might be hearing, the country is not crumbling. There's no article I read about Afghanistan where they don't use the adjective crumbling. The country is not crumbling. The government is getting stronger by the day. And as Ambassador Wayne has just said, there are a lot of achievements. And you have helped create those achievements. You have helped create the atmosphere for a new country, a strong country, because this government is going to be a strong government. That said, let me also state that I'm here talking as myself. I happen to be the wife of the president, but I'm not in the government. So what you'll hear is not the official line, but what you'll hear is what I hear from the people that come and see me. You know, I have a little office, and because I don't move a lot, I have an open door policy, and people have taken the habit of coming and seeing me. I usually see groups of people, not too many individuals, because I don't deal with individual problems like I need to have an operation, or I need a job, or you know, these kind of things. I cannot. We are almost 36 million of people. I cannot attend to every Afghan, but I can attend to groups, and I love listening to people. I love trying to find out what their problems are, and talk with them about what kind of solutions they could find, and to advocate for them. So basically, what I would be saying is a little bit what I hear from everyone. And I do hear a lot, as I was saying a few minutes ago with another group. I usually get the gossips before my husband. So this being said, it gives you the context in which I'll be talking and discussing things with Ambassador Wayne. Thank you.
Okay, this is working. Everybody can hear? Well, why don't we start off where you ended up. It's been 5 years now that you've had that little office listening to people. What changes that you observed during that period of time? How has the dialogue evolved with the Afghans that come in to talk to you?
The changes are enormous. I mean, the changes, they're intangible, are incredible. People are so much more vocal, so much more articulate, so much more creative, thinking about what they can do and what they can start. In the beginning, it was, you know, the people were somewhat timid and trying to figure out what is this new person that's coming and opening the doors of the palace. Before that, the palace was not open to the public. And so the difference is I find a greater vitality among the people. And I find that they have been encouraged to speak up. And well, we'll go into details as you ask the questions.
Well, in fact, over the past 2 years, it's been clear that Afghans on all parts of the political spectrum long for peace.
Yes.
And you have, as part of your dialogue and part of your effort, have been encouraging women to discuss these issues, to form their own thinking and then to share those thoughts. Could you talk a little bit about that process and what you've heard from women and how you you've seen their willingness to participate evolve?
Yeah, I'm going to put this on my head. Maybe my microphone will work better. Yes. If you want, I'll speak up. Is that okay? Okay, so basically, in the past 2 years, and it's probably a topic of the hour, which is the possibility of bringing peace to our country. Already from the start, people, when they spoke to me, always complained that we're tired of war, we want peace. And slowly, it became a much larger sound and much louder declaration that people wanted to have a normal life. And women in particular, because women take care of the house, take care of the children, they would say, I worry every morning when my children go to school, are they going to come back or will there be a bomb on the way? So once in February 2018, President Ghani announced that he was ready to start negotiations with the Taliban. Everybody was so happy. Everybody said, okay, we're going to finally have peace. But we all know peace takes time. And we have been talking about it. I'm sure the government has had pre-negotiations trying to prepare the ground. And but what has happened is that people started embracing it and starting to talk about it as if it's something that is going to happen for sure. And you know, we had a very successful ceasefire for 3 days. Right after that declaration, it was Eid, one of the religious festivals. And my husband said, we'll have a ceasefire for, yes, he made a declaration that we'll have a ceasefire for a week. And the Taliban said, okay, we'll do it for 3 days, because the Eid generally is 3 to 4 days. And it was incredible. Young Talibans came to the urban centers. They left their arms at the entrance and were able to go freely to see people. People embraced them, welcomed them. They were surprised. And because it was a religious festival, the mosques were open. There were people praying. They went into the mosque. They found out that, well, this is the same kind of prayers we're doing. It's the same thing. So it was really a very important experience for them. And actually, a few of the younger ones decided, okay, let me find a different job than being a Talib. And maybe this is why, ever since that very successful ceasefire, whenever the government asks, let's do a ceasefire, or whenever even at the Doha talks, they were asked, can you do a ceasefire? And they say, no, no ceasefire. It shows their insecurity. They're worried that if ever a ceasefire happens, a lot of their combatants will leave. Anyway, so to make a long story very short, so the government was engaged into pre-negotiation, and then I think in December of 2018, we woke up to Mr. Trump tweeting that all troops need to be removed from Afghanistan. It's something that's logical if they've been there for 18 years, and it is time they should be moved. And the answer of the government was to send a letter saying, okay, we do have this treaty between us, and which is called the BSA, Bilateral Security Agreement. Let's discuss it within the treaty, and let's do it gradually so that we don't have we can adapt to the transition. Unfortunately, and I'm not privy, I'm not the government, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that sometime in March, we found out that America is talking to the Taliban in Doha. And we were not told beforehand, and the envoy who shuttled between Doha and then Kabul supposedly tell us what he was doing. Never, I mean, he would talk, but he would never give a written report. It was never clear what he was discussing. So we've had this since March, and you know, it eventually did not come to fruition when President Trump decided that that was it, he did not have those talks anymore. I think it was in September that he said that. Anyway, but the reason I'm mentioning that is that the Doha talks brought a lot of anxiety to the Afghans because they were not told what was happening. And the ones that were the most perturbed about it were the women, because it's very clear that the Taliban have a very particular way of looking at women and of saying what is their place in society. That's very different from what women now enjoy in Afghanistan of today. And so the women really were very vocal, and you must have seen that in the media, in either making declaration or being in round tables or being writing op-eds or reaching out to, they may have reached out to some of you because they reach out to their sisters all over the world. And from that started a discussion. What is it that we can negotiate? What is it what kind of results do we want at the end? What are the things we cannot live without? It was very important. Slowly men also took part in the discussion, but they were more cautious at first. The women were the ones who started very strongly. And there have been a flurry of discussions, of events, conferences from civil society, from embassies, from international aid agencies. A week doesn't go by that there is somewhere some big discussion about what is peace, how should we bring it about, and what are our red lines. And the discussion was a long process, several months. But very quickly, people realized that there was one document, an official document, that really protected the rights they enjoyed at this time and their access to services and the achievements they have made. And that document is the Afghan Constitution. So this is why you will hear people saying, my red line is the Afghan Constitution. Kind of telescoping the whole argument in just one sentence. And at first you might think, okay, it's an empty slogan. It's not. The Constitution says very clearly that all Afghans are equal. No Afghan is better or worse than another Afghan. That men and women are equal. And that they are all equally have the right to access health services, education services, legal services. Another point that for me was extremely interesting is that in the Constitution, there is also the kind of economy we have in. And it states that we have a free market economy. So all business people now suddenly say, no, we want this Constitution. This protects our right to be able to transact, do our work, work with other countries, bring things without having the government interfering or clarifying what we can do and what we cannot do. So, in a way, I'm happy that there were the Doha talks, because it brought all this discussion, and it brought a clarity to the people of Afghanistan, and a unified voice. You know, we have freedom of speech in Afghanistan, and it's not a joke. We really have freedom of speech. My husband is often insulted on in public debates. I sometimes suffer some criticism, but you can take it because we're comfortable with what we're doing. We don't, you know, everybody has their own opinion. The result of the freedom of speech is that in the month of August, when we were celebrating our 100th anniversary of independence from the British, there were a lot of programs on TV, historical programs, debates, and everybody was watching TV, and I was watching too. And I had the chance to see 2 different debates in which one member of the panel was a Talib. And I had the chance to hear in their own words what they were saying. And unfortunately, they have not changed their mind about women. They still say that we are naqis al-aql wa naqis al-din. That were the exact word, which means incomplete brains and very poor knowledge of religion. So we're very clear about this. They tell us, oh, the Taliban have changed, they now are respectful for the women. In some of the occasional, I will not call them meetings, they will open the door to the women, they will let her go. This is a big change. Well, but they still think that the women cannot think and know nothing about religion. So as far as I'm concerned, there is a lot to be done before we can reach an agreement. In the other panels, what had happened is that one person had asked them, okay, you want to come and govern Afghanistan. So what is your plan for the economic development of the country? And the man said, oh, it's very simple. We'll apply whatever we have learned in madrasas. They don't teach economy in madrasas. So are they ready to govern? In the 5 years they were in Afghanistan, because they were only there for 5 years, from 1996 to 2001. Did they manage to govern the country? I'm not quite sure. I arrived early 2002, and I had to look high and low to find a little plastic pocket that I needed to use in my house. So, yes, peace is definitely on the docket. We want peace. How we're going to achieve it? Still a big question.
So, what kind of steps do you think can help bridge these gaps that you've just talked about between the perceptions of the government, not just the government, how the Afghans and the Taliban? How can we start working to build that trust and confidence and understanding to make peace more possible?
I think, unfortunately, it's going to take time, because the Doha talks went directly to the Taliban. And by going directly to the Taliban and short-circuiting the government, the Americans have elevated the Taliban and have given them a lot of misconceptions of their own importance. So, the essential thing is that Afghan Taliban are Afghans. We have a country that's called Afghanistan, and as Afghans, they should have the right to be there and to live there if so they wish. But they should come as Afghans. Can they come as Taliban? this is where the question gets to be a little more complicated, because they want to have an Emirates, an Islamic Emirates, and we have worked hard the past 18 years to create an Islamic Republic. And the difference between the two is that the Emirates means that you have the few at the top that are deciding what everybody else has to do. Whereas the Republic and the way it is being implemented and understood in Afghanistan is a place where everybody is a citizen. And as a citizen, they have a right to speak, the right to voice their opinion, and they have also a responsibility towards the country to make something out of this country. And I feel that the Afghan people have understood that. At first it was a little bit difficult to absorb, assimilate, because for the past 100 years, whether it was a monarchy or a republic by the cousin of the king, or the successive party autocratic regimes, or after the parties we had the Mujahideens who didn't really have a regime, so there were 7 people who were supposed to take turn every 3 months, take turn governing the country, or the Taliban were kind of a autocratic theocracy. It was always a small group of people deciding for everyone. Now it's different. And people now have a sense of ownership, that this is their country. They can do something to do it, to improve it. Young people come and tell me, this is our country, we want to make it pretty, we want to make it strong, we want to contribute to its economy. So I'm not quite sure that the way I read the situation, I'm not quite sure that the people of Afghanistan today are ready to relinquish their rights and their responsibility as citizens. So here we have a problem, because the Taliban are insisting on an emir. And keep in mind, how many people are the Taliban? I have no idea the numbers. But outside of Afghanistan, maybe 60,000. And inside of Afghanistan, we have almost 36 million people. So is it logical that 60,000 come and impose their way of thinking on such a large number of people? This is why I say it's going to take time.
I understand. So in that connection, what's your perception of the security situation? There has been a lot of fighting. There have been too many civilian casualties in general, too many innocent people being killed, unfortunately. The Taliban, of course, seem at times to boast about their military prowess. But what's your perspective from where you sit?
Again, here I have a little bit of a beef with media, because whenever you read an article on Afghanistan, they always say, oh, the Taliban control half of the country, they control 2/3 of the country, the government is not in control. So before coming, because security is not my work. Of course, I live in a country where I have to be aware of what is the situation. But I asked from the professionals, where are the Taliban in control? What part of Afghanistan the Taliban are in control of? And the answer was, of the 364 districts, we have 34 provinces that are divided in 364 districts. The Taliban fully control 12 districts. That doesn't mean they are in control of half the country or 2/3 of the country. Other thing, the Taliban are Afghans. So they're free to go and come, they're free to go in every corner of the country, And their modus operandi, the way they operate, is hit and run, you know, or suicide bombing. So yes, they can create havoc in all of Afghanistan. They're not in control. So my perception of the security is that eventually, with the government becoming more and more organized, with especially the ministries of the security ministry, which is Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Defense, and the NDS, intelligence, are going to slowly be able to take care of all this unrestness and restlessness, and they are going to be able to reduce the ability of the Taliban to hit and run and to create havoc in Afghanistan. I don't know if it was really very much talked about in the news. In Badakhshan, they have already cleaned that province that was a haven for the Taliban. And recently, as I was leaving for coming here, it was the turn of Mingarhar, where Jalalabad is, where not only the Taliban but also Daesh has been kicked out from the places, and they had bases and things also. So I know you're going to tell me probably they will come back. It's possible that they will be back and forth. But still, they're no longer secure. These areas are no longer secure for them. So I'm hopeful. But again, it will take a long time.
Thank you very much. Can we invite some questions from those who are here? Just make sure our colleagues have microphones. All right, why don't we start up here in the front?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. My name is Nazira-Karimi. I am an independent Afghan journalist. Welcome back, Ms. Salam alaikum. May I ask my question in Dari, please?
I translate. Okay.
I know, because I'm live in my friend in Facebook, they keep asking questions. One question regarding current situation, lack of security in Afghanistan. As you know, Mother lost 2 kids, 12 years old and 10 years old, sister and brother. As a mother, I know you feel sad about that. Do you have any message for their mothers? And also, a recent report was very negative regarding Afghanistan. Do you have any comment about it? Thank you.
First of all, for the mother, I want to present my condolences. Mother, it's the worst thing is for a mother to lose her children. As far as cigar is concerned, I think it's good to have cigar being always attentive to whether there is corruption or not in Afghanistan, because there is no doubt that there has been a period where there was a lot of corruption, and we're trying to attend to it. So, but sometimes cigar's mandate is to make sure that it is the American institutions are not dispersing money in the wrong way. And that is something totally acceptable. But I know nothing about what people do or don't do, and I'm sure that there are people who are annoyed with that, because they probably stopped them from doing some of their things.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We go ahead.
Thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdullah. I'm a graduate student and also director of